My goodness, this is interesting, getting interesting. Let's conclude it. Guys, let's conclude it. Be amazed. You will be amazed.
The slow work of healing. One evening, they sat outside the shop as the sky burned gold. "You're a strong man," Grace said. Musa shook his head. "I don't feel strong, just grateful I'm still here." "No," she replied, her voice steady. "You went through the fire and chose kindness. That's strength." Musa's eyes softened. "I never thought I'd meet someone like you." Grace looked down, smiling faintly. "And I never thought I'd smile like this again." That night, Musa called Ibrahim. "I think I've met someone," he said. Ibrahim chuckled. "Musa the lover boy?" "Not like that," Musa laughed. "She's different, calm, wise, full of light." "Then don't let that light go," Ibrahim said warmly. "You deserve joy." Musa took his time. Grace's daughter, Rachel, soon began visiting the shop, helping arrange books and sitting in the reading corner Musa built just for her. He treated her like his own child, teaching, encouraging, listening. One sunny afternoon, Musa invited Grace and Rachel to a quiet garden. Kneeling with a small ring in his hand, he said, "I don't have much to give, but I have peace, respect, and love. Will you marry me?" Tears welled in Grace's eyes. "Yes, Musa. 1,000 times yes." Rachel squealed and hugged them both. Their wedding was small, but full of joy. Friends, neighbors, and President Traoré attended. After the ceremony, Traoré pulled Musa aside. "You look like a man who's found peace." "I have," Musa replied. Ibrahim placed a hand on his shoulder. "You found it because you never gave up." Months later, Musa's life was full: a loving wife, a daughter who adored him, a thriving business, and a home filled with laughter. He launched a foundation to help men who had lost everything, opening a shelter that offered training in small business skills. "I was once on that street," Musa told the first group. "One friend changed my story. Now I want to change yours." Across town, Stella sat alone in a rented room. She had called Musa many times, but he never answered. Once she went to his shop, only to see a sign: "Closed this week for family reasons. See you next week." In the window was a photo: Musa and Grace holding hands, Rachel smiling between them. Stella's vision blurred. She had once held everything and thrown it away. Now Musa had what she had never valued. Slowly, she turned from the shop and walked down the dusty road, this time with nothing to her name. That evening, Musa sat on the porch with Grace, a warm cup of tea in hand. The night air was still, stars scattered like diamonds across the dark sky. "Do you think your ex-wife regrets it now?" Grace asked quietly. Musa looked up at the stars before answering. "Maybe, but that's not my concern anymore." Grace reached for his hand. "Let's keep writing new chapters," she whispered. He smiled, squeezing her fingers. "Beautiful ones." Musa's life was no longer just a personal victory. It was a living testimony. From sleeping on the streets to becoming a respected businessman, loving husband and father, his story gave hope to many. The Musa Foundation had already helped over 50 men rebuild their lives. Some became mechanics, others opened small shops, barber stalls, or food stands. They all shared one thing in common: they believed again because Musa had believed in them first. One afternoon, President Ibrahim Traoré called. "I want you to speak at the National Youth Conference," he said. "Your story needs to be heard." When Musa's name was announced, he walked to the stage in a neat gray suit, head high. The applause was warm, but respectful. He adjusted the microphone. "I was a man who lost everything," he began. "Not because I was lazy or foolish, but because I trusted the wrong person." He paused, scanning the audience. "My wife and her lover took everything from me. I was thrown out, mocked, and left with nothing but shame. But one hot afternoon, as I sat hungry on the street, a man I once helped found me." Musa glanced toward Ibrahim in the front row. "That man didn't pity me or pass me by. He lifted me up and reminded me that broken things can still be made beautiful again." The hall was silent. Then he smiled. "Today, I hold no anger. The best revenge is peace, joy, and moving forward. No matter how bad it gets, your story can change, if you don't give up." The crowd rose to their feet in applause. That night, back in the garden, Rachel played with their puppy as Musa and Grace sat side by side. "Do you still think about her?" Grace asked. "Not with anger," Musa said. "Just wonder. How someone can throw away gold and pick up sand." Grace laughed softly. She lost a good man. And I gained a queen, Musa replied, smiling at her. Far away, Stella worked in a small restaurant. The man she left Musa for had taken her money and left her in debt. The house she once took from him was gone. She had even tried to end her life once, but survived. Sometimes she scrolled through Musa's photos online, the interviews, the smiling family, the joy. Each one cut deep. The man she thought would be nothing without her had become more than she could imagine without her. A year later, Musa was invited to the presidential palace for dinner. In the garden, Ibrahim handed him a small box. "What's this?" Musa asked. "An award, Ibrahim said with a smile, "for your work with the Musa Foundation." Inside was a golden medal. Musa hugged his friend tightly. "You didn't just change my life," he said. "You gave me the chance to change others too." "That's the power," Ibrahim replied, of one hand lifted in kindness. As the evening breeze moved through the garden, Musa looked up at the sky. "Who would have thought," he whispered, "that the man with nothing would one day have more than he ever dreamed?" His eyes shone, not with pain, but with joy. The past was gone, the future was bright, and this time no one could take it away. No matter how far you fall, one act of kindness can be the first step back to hope, and the choice to rise is always yours. If this story inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Thank you for watching.